Hi guys. Today I want to talk to you guys about a topic that's really important to me, and that's the topic of the health of children in our society today. And I recently read an article that talked about the top 10 reasons why parents choose to get their children checked by a chiropractor and adjusted if needed. And I wanted to touch on that today. And I truly believe that every child should have the opportunity to get their spine and their nervous system checked from an early age. And I know this may sound strange to a lot of people out there, and there are people that are new to our clinic that don't completely understand that, but children, they have subluxations and problems just like we do. And they just often haven't revealed themselves in the form of symptoms yet. You see, subluxation is a lifestyle problem. Our bad habits and our stresses cause our problems, and they lead to nerve interference, and that starts from day one. And as a chiropractor, out of all of the kids and babies that I've checked, I have yet to find one without at least some evidence of birth trauma. The delivery and birth process itself is leading to problems such as subluxation that is putting pressure on the child's spinal cord and on the nerves exiting the spine. For some babies, we see symptoms associated with this problem earlier and earlier. We see acid reflux and digestive issues and ear infections and colic, and we're starting to see even the little newborn babies coming in all drugged up. And guys, this isn't normal. You see, for some kids out there though, it doesn't show up as symptoms right away. The nerve pressure becomes a ticking time bomb that continues to build up until they hit their teens or their early 20s, and we start seeing this in the form of back pain and headaches and hormone issues and asthma and all kinds of serious problems because this pressure, it's been building up this whole time. See, there are kids that are under more chemical stress than we could have ever dreamed possible when we were their age. They eat mainly processed man-made foods that are filled with chemicals. They're injected with 4 to 10 times more chemicals and toxins than we ever were before, and that's even before they reach the age of school. They're all doped up on drugs early and earlier, and this is not the normal way to grow up. This isn't natural. And kids these days, they don't go around running outside. They sit way too much, and our spines weren't designed for that. First, they sit in car seats all the time, but then they sit watching TV and then video games, and they're on cell phones, and they're sitting in school. And this is on top of all of the falls and learning how to walk and all the roughhousing that occurs as a child. And these kids are under a lot of stress. This is why we check kids for the presence of subluxation. That's why we adjust them when necessary. Now, the list of 10 things I wanted to go over, it talks about a lot of these things, and it's not just about back pain. It's not about headaches. For kids, it's different. The first reason parents chose to get their kids adjusted was to maximize and increase the child's brain and nerve development. You see, kids weren't born with everything fully developed like adults. This is a process that occurs as they're growing. So it's important to make sure that process is working right so they can develop naturally the way that they're supposed to. The second reason is to enhance the child's overall well-being. And the third reason is to strengthen immunity and reduce the presence of colds and ear infections and general illness. And there's been studies out there, and it shows that chiropractic can increase your immune system by 200%. And in a child, that's huge. Fourth reason, to help with colic and irritable baby syndrome. We see this coming in a lot at early age, and that is huge with the pressure of nerve interference and pressure on the spinal cord. And we see that a lot with birth trauma starting from day one. Number 5 is to help with asthma, breathing difficulties, and allergies. You see the same nerves that control the way you feel and your pain and your headaches also control every single organ in the body, your lungs included. So when we have children with breathing difficulties, it's because their lungs aren't getting the nerve supply that they need. When we see allergies, it's because your immune system isn't working properly. Number 6, to improve spinal posture. When you're sitting all day from day one, your posture is horrible. And we see kids slouching forward, and we're starting to see something you hear chiropractors talking about, text neck. It's because kids are sitting there on their cell phones all day long, and their posture is starting to show. Number 7, to improve their child's ability to concentrate. When your nervous system is not working efficiently, your body can't process all the information that it's taking in. But when we see kids starting to get adjusted, their ability to focus and concentrate increases because their immune system, or not their immune system, their nervous system is working efficiently and they're able to focus. Number 8 is to assist with behavioral difficulties and offer greater emotional well-being. We're surrounded by stress, and we talked about the chemical stress and the physical stress, but emotional or mental stress is the same thing. Your body has to be able to process the stresses that are influencing it. Number 9 is to alleviate bedwetting and digestive problems. Just like we talked about the lungs, the bladder and the digestive system are controlled by that very same nervous system. You have pressure on your nervous system or on your spinal cord from day one, it influences all of the organs of the body, and we start seeing the effects of that. Number 10 is to assist with sleep issues. How many parents would love to see their kids sleep longer? Because when the kids sleep longer, you sleep longer. So anything that we can do to help the nervous system function more efficiently it's going to help your kids in all areas of their lives, including sleep. Now, the big reason why we check kids is because, in my opinion, we owe them better. Our problems began when we were their age. Knowing this, I think we have a responsibility. If we know that there's a better way out there, we have to act on it. We have a responsibility to make the next generation better, to give them a chance to grow up and reach their true health potential instead of waiting for problems to add up and build up until it's degenerated and they develop lifelong problems. This is how we give them a better future. Now, you might wonder why this is such a big deal to me and why I'm so passionate about this. It's because 14 years ago, I was that kid. I was the kid with asthma problems and allergy problems. I was the kid sick constantly. And this started early on. I was diagnosed with asthma when I was 4. So I was on several inhalers. I was on corticosteroids. I had nebulizer. I was taking all kinds of pills. Nothing was working. They told me that it was going to get worse as I got older. Now, when I was 13, something changed. And I started going to a chiropractor. You see, I was the kid that was jumping off everything. I was roughhousing. I was hurting myself. I was trying to play sports. And I beat myself up. And I started to get some pain. I hit that early teenage, kind of that ticking time bomb we were talking about. I started to notice the symptoms. But my parents, they took me to a chiropractor. I got my spine and my nervous system checked for the presence of subluxation. Now, I didn't have a lot of pain where they started adjusting, but it freed up the nerves that went to my lungs, and I was able to get off all medication. That changed my life. I don't take a single drug now. I was able to play sports in high school and do the things I love to do. So when that changed my life, that really impacted me, and that's why I'm here. When I learned more about chiropractic, I wanted to tell others to the point where I made it my mission to help others the exact way that I was helped. And as you learn more about chiropractic and you start to see the results, you're going to want to share this message too. And I think we owe it to our kids. We owe it to them to give them a better future. Things in today's society are heading in the wrong direction. We're heading in a direction where kids, even from day one, are more drugged up. We're leading to a rundown society. And we owe them better. I believe that we owe them health.